Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear people, of blessings for all of you. So we are reaching the last third, or we are in the middle of the last third, actually, in Ramadan. And maybe last night has happened the night of power, but there is 2 other nights to go to see. And as so many people ask always, how can we find the night of power and how can we look for it? There are signs. One is the sign is that you are probably very tired before the night of power comes. No? And unfortunately, the greater sign that the night of power has happened is that you feel a drop of energy the next day. Yeah. That the fasting won't be as easy as before. The taste that you feel inside of yourself is not as easy as before. Because after the night of power, the Ramadan somehow starts to leave. No? As we said before, think Ramadan as a being. So this being is there and it will return to its place. No? And even if we do, and a lot of people do this practicing of Shawwal, that 6 days of fasting after Ramadan, it balances a little bit this drop, yeah, and this is why it is done also. But it cannot replace this energy of Ramadan. Yeah. So it is not a thing that depends on the people. You see, you have to understand it is a blessing that comes to us and it is taken away from us. No? It is not a mass phenomenon that when many people do the same, that a certain atmosphere happens, yes, as well, but this is not the only reason. No? Otherwise, we would experience in the World Championship when there is a World Championship of soccer and there are nations that win, we should experience, a total happiness about certain nations. That is not actually the case. Yeah. So this being is there and is a very powerful being, of course. It can give this to us. And this is how we have to think forces that come to us sometimes in our life. They are big forces and they rule our life, And the way to meet them, the way to deal with them is simply what is written in the very headline of the Book of Love, and this is called Islam. That means you surrender. Surrendering is not giving up action, is not giving up that you have a will in a certain point, but it is giving up the idea that something is against me in life, that my life is against me. It is giving up the idea that I'm disadvantaged, I'm unlucky, I'm ungifted, And it is giving up the idea of needs that we say, I need this to be happy. I need this, I need 1,000,000 to be happy, or I need a perfect spouse and perfect husband to be happy, or I need a perfect job to be happy, or I need a certain object to be happy. When you practice these little exercises, something shifts in your life dramatically, and you will have what you need and you will reach to where you have to reach. Practicing these intentions, these attitudes, will make every spirit practicing like a fertilizer. It will fertilize all your practicings, be it that you meditate, be it that you make zikr and prayers and God knows what. It is actually the foundation that the practicing can unfold, because nothing can work against our will. You see, our will is the will of God. It's the will of Allah in a way. And when we ask ourselves, why is all that happened to me? Why am I have this life that I have? You need to understand that the divine itself made itself. And through all the stations it had to pass to become it. Yeah. This is what it wants to share with us. And this is what happens. And this is why it says in all the books, you are my Khalifa, you are in the shape of me, you are in me, you are mine. Yeah. You are what I am, you know. So our life is this sharing, that he could reach a point where he can dominate or control or influence everything there is. Yeah. So he becomes the owner of creation, of existence, of the universes, right? And this is what he wants to share. He wants us to be in that state, godlike. Yeah. Fana, Fila is not only the union, the emotional union, it is also the union with all powers, with all gifts, with all knowledge. Yeah. It is the union of everything. As much as we can comprehend, it will not happen in one moment, but finally, this is what it is. Yeah. Because nothing can be separate forever from the divine. You see, this is the law of life. It will come back to him. Whatever he breathes out, whatever he creates, it will return to him. Yeah. And that means we are part of everything he knows, of everything it can do, of everything it wants, whatever it is. Yeah. And this is its joy. Yeah. This is the joy of the divine. And so when we see ourselves suffering from the perspective of the divine, there is not a suffering there. Yeah. It is the way it has to happen. And of course, it cannot happen easy. Yeah. It can happen as it happens. Sometimes it is easy, but it cannot be always easy. And it is not always heavy, right? Therefore, that is another attitude we should have, that we do not fear our life, that we do not worry about it. Yeah. Thinking something goes wrong, something is not for me, something, and so on and so on. Yes, of course, something is not for us. Yeah. And yes, something can go wrong, but in the absolute, nothing can go wrong. Not at what at the world happens, not what to the cosmos happens. It will never go wrong. Yeah. And when there is the union with the divine, we will know specifically about our life. How was the wisdom of everything behind? And this is the healing. This is the healing that is, of course, finally only in the divine itself. There is no other healing. The world cannot heal us. Yeah, a partner cannot heal us. 10 millions cannot heal us. No, it is the divine himself alone that can do. Right? He is the healer. And for this reason, some people have this unexplainable urge to know themselves and to want to understand about their lives. And that is the reason, you see. The deepest core in us wants to unify with the divine. This is the aim of everyone's life. Finally, when that awakens in a person, also, it is not our credits, it is not what we do to ourselves, but it says that in the book of love, and I call to my light whom I want, right? So whenever that call comes, we are set on the track. By his mercy, there are many, yeah. And in our tradition, we believe it's actually everyone, yeah. Sometimes it just needs a person to hear something, to meet somebody, to have a sickness maybe, to have an accident, to have all kinds of events, happy ones or not so happy ones, and the call appears within you, right? So when we leave Ramadan, when Eid comes, that is actually the holiest day in the year. Yeah, that is the rebirth. That is the celebration of the renewing, because Ramadan is a renewer as well. Yeah. Then when that comes, many people often feel the sadness. Yeah. Even so, we should celebrate. And here comes the point. Even you feel sad. Yeah, it can happen. Celebrate. Show your happiness, show your satisfaction, show your best of you on that day. And that will trigger a deep process of changes also in that year for you. Yeah. Try to remember it. Yeah. When Eid comes, smile. Smile. Anyone asking you, how are you? Fantastic. Alhamdulillah. Everything is great, great, great. I am so happy. Yeah. That is the duty on it. And for one day, if you cannot feel it, pretend, right? That is our duty on that day. Showing a happy face, no? Especially on that day. May Allah accept your fastings. Think of the fitr, no? So that you paid this money. In our countries, it's around 10 euros. So find it out for your place. And it is for every member of your family. If you are married and you're the man, you have to pay it. If you are alone, you pay for yourself alone. Okay? That's what it is for today. And I wish you very happy Ramadan till the end and a blessed Eid if we do not meet before. All the best to you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.